The tourism in the province is one of the apex priorities. If one looks at the State of the Province address, the policy speech, by the Premier, and the policy speech by the NBC for Economic Development and Tourism, tourism is one of our biggest drivers from a sector growth perspective. The budget that talks to that may not necessarily reflect it, but the facilitation that we have to do, not necessarily driven by government only, but a sector mobilization of resources for it to thrive, is our biggest ask that we need to perform.
And what are some of the challenges that the industry faces, and really some of the strategies that have been put in place to mitigate these challenges?
I think the first one is that our challenge is consistent messaging as a sector, both in terms of public and private. The harmonization of the message is our key issue. The stand as you have it reflected behind me is an attempt to unify the message when you come to platforms like Indaba at an international level, where you've got an opportunity to sell the Eastern Cape to about 20, 21 countries in the continent. You need to have a coherent, consistent messaging. So part of the challenge is that we are making breakthroughs around that, and we're confident that the focus is not so much about institutions. It's about product offering. It's about ensuring that when products come to platforms like this, they conclude deals. They're able to push a compelling case to have their product offerings added as part of the itineraries of the tour operators and tour guides across the continent. I think that's the first thing. The second one around what we need to do, we are a diverse spatial province. From one end to the other, it's a cool 8-9 hour drive, which makes it, from an offering point of view, a logistical nightmare. But it provides, there's an upside to that. The upside being that if you are in a province like ours, you can't do it within a day. So the more you stay, the merrier for us as a province. But the connectivity to ensure that the experience is smooth is our challenge. There's a lot of work around the infrastructure upgrades, the N2 developments, the public works budgets around access roads in the province. There's a big improvement around that. And I think the feedback that we're getting from the sector as well is an encouraging one. There's a recognition of the investment that is made, and we hope that within the next year or so we're going to get the return on that specific investment. One of the aspects, again, in terms of the challenges that we generally face, is the product readiness. To come in a platform like this and sell is good. The challenge is always going to be when people go to the product to experience it, will they find it in the condition that you've suggested? So part of our challenge is maintaining the grades, maintaining the standards, and continuously supporting our product offerings from a tourism development point of view, general finance, the management of their businesses, so that not only they get into the business, but they stay into the business. So for us, that is one issue that we have as a challenge. SMMEs, they will have all the limitations and challenges in terms of what they can do, but from a government point of view and from a Eastern Cape Parks and Tourism Agency perspective, our goal is to be there for them, provide that technical support in terms of how they can run their businesses, but more than that, in terms of how they can improve their businesses. And the last one, to recognize that tourism is not so much about one product, but it's about an experience within the province. So if my product is good, I have a responsibility to ensure that my neighbor, who's also an important role player in terms of the product offering, also is good as well. Because if there are 5-10 products in a particular route that are good, it means that we are able to attract and trap that tourist for longer within that particular route.